what's up everybody? How's it going? So a bit of rumor being kind of brought up again as people are in talks of Google possibly releasing its own gaming console. Now the last time we heard about this was back in mid-2018 when they were talking about Project Yeti. This being Google's way of streaming game service, kind of like, you know, the idea behind it, but we got another name here to kind of take a look at for one of Google's projects, which definitely suggests that there may possibly be a gaming console that Google is going to put out that will compete against the likes of the PlayStation and the Xbox. And this name is known as Metallurgy. Now, take it with a grain of salt, only because, again, this is still in rumor stage. There is no definite proof. Google has not come out and directly said, we are building a gaming console to compete against other companies such as Sony and Microsoft. But it wouldn't be out of line for Google to do this. They have released sort of a gaming console in the past. It really wasn't entirely a gaming console itself. But it was used to not only use Android TV, but to also play games, Android games on your TV. And this was the Nexus Player, which I still currently have and still use faithfully today. But the idea behind this is going to be a little bit different, and here's why. So in order for Google to pull this off, one of the main things that people know about gaming and, you know, with the release of a gaming console is that the game console itself has to have specific games that is only made for it. So I guess you could say like it's Star brand games. And so Google will eventually have to, you know, either come up with something or partner up with a game developer company to make a game exclusively only for their gaming console, which would, you know, is kind of like the marketing strategy behind it, right? Like if, you know, you've seen demos of this game, this is, you know, our game, you want this game, you buy this console, you can play this game. And that's usually how it works, right? I mean, like, you know, way back in the day of like older retro video game consoles, if you wanted to play Super Mario, there was only one gaming console to do that, and that was the NES. If you wanted to play Sonic the Hedgehog, there was only one console for that, the Sega Genesis. So it's kind of going in that format if they were to do this. There is no info on what specific game is going to be only for whatever Google's console is. But it is to say that, you know, a lot of these rumors is pointing in that direction, that Google will finally try an attempt into going in and making its own gaming console with some featured games that can only be found for the gaming console, and also partner with other game developers for some major titles that are out there that are cross-branded. So here are my thoughts on how this could all work out, what will not work out, but some of the things that Google needs to do or needs to stay away from in order for them to pull this off. And there's really only one thing that I'm going to outline here, and that's Google's nefarious idea of always constantly creating two of the same things and canceling out one. Like, if they're going to do this, you're going to have to jump both feet in the lake, swim with the sharks, and not try to paddle back to shore and find a different area to jump in from, because by doing so, you're just going to kill any steam, any fire built up behind the support of this. So definitely Google's going to want to stay from replications and things like that. They're definitely just going to want to have to go for it. Also, you know, take your time in engineering this, okay? Because one of the things that Google does is they try to, sometimes they're too smart for their own good, and they may come up with something that they think looks really good, really awesome, but then again, you know, people are going to look at it and be like, wow, that's trash, you know? So don't try to be overly nerdy with it, you know, keep it basic, but don't also have it try to look like anything that's already out there. So, I mean, it's kind of like, you know, that's why it's going to be like a tough thing for them to do, is because they got to make something that doesn't look like everything else that is out there, but they got to make something that, you know, isn't overwhelmingly nerdy where people are just going to look at it and be like, you know, what did they put in their coffee that morning? And so, yeah, to kind of close this off, let me know what you guys think. If Google was to release its own gaming console to combat the Xbox and the PlayStation series, would you guys even be interested in it? And if so, what would you guys think the pricing should be for something like that? Let me know what your guys' thoughts in the comment section of this video. Thanks a lot for checking it out. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed today's vlog, and you'll catch me in the next one. Aloha.